chance to see Julian Rochester playing some football the other day for the first time in a while. What was that like as a teammate that's been here with him to see him, back on the field and, knowing what he's going through?
Julian has worked his tail off to get back. I mean, everybody on the sideline was so excited to see him back out there. Actually, we were sitting on the sideline. I looked up at the screen. That big Jew out there. So we all got excited because we love the physicality that Julian brings to the game, and just having him back out there was a huge piece to our defense.
Hey, Kearis, I wanted to ask you about Nolan Smith. You guys are obviously both leaders for this team. How does his leadership style contrast with your own, and how does it sort of help this team as a whole improve?
Nolan's voice is like a microphone. He's so loud, especially at practice. Yeah, he always brings a lot of energy, brings the juice, and just keeping guys on their tail. I mean, he always going to be out there pushing guys to go harder. Just with his voice, he's very vocal, and he brings a lot of energy to the team, and we're glad to have Nolan on this team.
Okay, let's go to Anthony Dasher, followed by Jake Jennings.
Hey, Kearis, good to see you. Kind of follow up on that just a little bit with Adam out, right now. How is Nolan? Is he kind of taking upon himself to maybe do even more? Not so much to, take Adam's, spot per se, but just to provide even more than what he's been doing since Adam's going to be gone for, it looks like, for a while.
Yeah, the coaches do a great job at preparing everyone for the unexpected. You never know what can happen. And, Coach Smart and Coach Lannon and everybody else on the defense have done a great job making sure that guys stay ready. And that's the mentality, next guy mentality. So right now, Nolan has been holding down, playing his tail off.
Let's go to Chip Towers, followed by Palmer Tomes.
Yeah, Kearis, Tennessee obviously is getting a lot of attention for their explosive numbers in the receiver corps in particular. You guys have been pretty explosive yourselves, especially of late, now that you got some guys back. I mean, is that a competitive thing as well around the league? Like, hey, we have as good as receivers as anybody, or running backs, or, we hear linebacker you, running back you. Is that something you when you go against a team like this, you want to show, hey, we can be explosive too?
That's all the expectation for every game we go into, is to be explosive. I know many people don't look at this receiving core as an explosive group, but at the same time, you can check the stats, you can check the numbers, and we are just as explosive as any other team out there. And just the things that we could do in this receiver room is tremendous, and we just love enjoying playing football.
Kearis, obviously the receiver room is your position group, but how much pride do you take in special teams as well? Your job as the return guy, and is that a thing where that's a team-wide thing, or do you feel like there are not necessarily a position room for that, but a return guy room or a return guy group chat or a group like that?
Special teams is a team effort. It's a team effort. Like, special team can win and lose you games, especially on the road. And just being able to be like the specialist here at Georgia it's always been like a dream come true. I still went on that return to the end zone, but it's going to come one of these days. But I'm just excited to be able to play special teams, because you have to be special to play special teams. And every guy out there is fighting their tail off, whether they're a starter, whether they're a freshman. Everyone takes pride in playing special teams.
Let's go to Ryan Curley, followed by Jake Rowe.
Here's we talked to your coach yesterday, and a little bit about George Pickens and Dominic Blaylock. What are you seeing from them? What's your take on all that?
George and Dom has done a great job with their recovery process, especially going to treatment, things like that, making sure they're coming back 100%. I mean, they out there on scout team right now, giving it all they got. I mean, they still have room for improvement by getting their confidence back and things like that, but they're making great strides on terms of getting their health back and feeling like themselves again.
I'm good. I don't have a question.
Okay. Well, we got several minutes left. I'll just open it up to anybody with a question.
Hey, Kearis, when you were coming back from your own injury this year, did you do the sort of thing that George and Dom are doing right now, where they're on scout team sort of working their way back into shape?
Yeah, I was doing the same thing. I wasn't on scout team because we were pretty much had to work myself back into the offense, but I was just out there trying to get as many reps as I can, just trying to improve my game, making sure I can have confidence back in my knee. Because I know that process with those guys out trying to get themselves back going, but with their process, they're not trying to rush it. I mean, it's an ACL injury. Nobody wants to come back fast from that. want to make sure they're fully healed from that recovery process. So my process is a little bit different from theirs in terms of like reps and things like that. But it is a tough process to go through, especially you being held from doing things you love to do.
Kearis, a couple minutes ago, did you say that people don't think your receiver room is explosive? Did I mishear you?
Yeah, I mean, some people say that we're not explosive, but
why do you think? Why do you think they say that? Because I disagree.
Can't really answer that one. It's just most people want to see us throwing the ball a lot, but it's all about winning football games. Whether we got to pound the ball, take shots, whatever it takes to win football games, that's the most important thing. And the thing about the receiver, and we're so unselfish, like it could be a game we may not even throw the ball, but who cares about it? We out there making blocks, have fun. Like that creates explosives as well for the running back. So that's our main focus. That's just like creating explosives for not only us, but for the backfield as well.
Kearis, to kind of follow up on that just a little bit, do you think this offense gets overlooked? I mean, you guys are number 2 in the conference in scoring offense, but people don't talk about the offense like they do the defense.
Yeah, I mean, we can't really control what other people say about us. We have to go out there and just keep winning football games and just doing what the standard is at Georgia.
Kearis, how much pressure does how good the defense is take off you guys in terms of, they're only giving up less than 7 points a game, the team is, I guess, Tennessee, is averaging a lot more, and if they, get half of their average, and maybe you guys might feel more pressure on offense. I mean, do you feel like that you don't have to press because the defense, chances are they're going to get their shares of threes and out and stuff like that?
Well, as an offense, we have to come out there and make sure we score on every drive, every possession that's possible. I mean, we can't always depend on our defense because it's going to come a point in time in this season where we're going to have to score points to help our defense out. So we can't just look at it as though we have to depend on our defense every time because at some point in this season, it's going to happen where we're going to have to put up points as well.
Kearis, real quick, obviously this team has a lot of firsts there going for it. It'll be the first time Georgia's gone undefeated 10 games since 1982, going undefeated, those kind of things. Is that any type of motivation for you guys as you go up to Knoxville? They're going to be primed to knock you guys off, but are you motivated by those kind of accomplishments?
We more so motivated by we get to play another football game, honestly. We get to go out there in a hostile environment, going up to Tennessee where it's very loud. We just excited we get to play in football games like this. Like I said in previous interviews, like this is what we come to Georgia to do, playing in big-time games and big-time situations so we can achieve the goals that we want to do as a team.